What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Climb Together podcast. I am your host, Tonage, here with my co-host, Deception. Deception, say hi.
What up?
We have a lot of things to talk about. This is episode number 74. Very exciting things. Happy to be here. 74 episodes. We have a lot to talk about today. So we're just gonna go ahead and get into it. So thank you everyone that's tuning in live on Twitch. If you guys don't know, if you guys are watching this later, we stream this live on Twitch noon every Wednesday, unless otherwise disclosed. Alright, so first off, I want to start off by saying yesterday we did Farlight Bingo on the Scorpion Syndicate channel. It was the first ever stream on the Scorpion Syndicate channel, so I just want to say thank you to everyone that showed up, showed some love on all four of the channels that we were streaming on over the course of like 4 or 5 hours. So thank you guys so much. We got the Scorpion Syndicate up to, I believe, quite a few followers. Well, let me actually pull up the number here. But it was a really fun stream, really good time. So thank you guys so much. We got it up to 7 followers yesterday. So nice little start to our grind. It's okay, Erica. There'll be more. There'll be more. So, but I just want to say thank you for that. We have a couple of other events coming up that we have yet to announce on there. So keep your eyes peeled and drop this Syndicate channel a follow. I'm gonna post it in chat.
That was a big debut stream too.
It was good.
It was fantastic. I had a great time.
Sadly, I didn't win. Deception won one other thing. I didn't win at all.
I was the first to get bingo, so I won the battle.
Yeah, you won the battle. Won the war. Yeah, Wyatt won the war. I won the battle. But I put it in both. Put the link in both chats. Go pop the Twitch a follow. We also have a Kick channel as well. So if you guys are on Kick, it's the same as the Twitch username. So just so everyone that's watching, go pop us a follow because there's some challenges that I plan on doing when we hit 50 followers, 100 followers, 200 followers, and 300 followers. So if you guys want to see me suffer live, go follow. Just for context, the 300 followers ones is me getting my armpits waxed live on stream by Riss. So if you guys want to see that, make sure you get your friends to follow and all that fun stuff. So anyway, back on track here. So yeah, so we had Farlight Bingo yesterday. It was a big hit. It's the first event that we've kind of thrown under Scorpion Syndicate as far as like an internal content thing, and I think it went really well. Congratulations to Wyatt again. Man's fucking killed it. It literally came down to like a sudden death of whoever got the next challenge first one. Between Deception and Wyatt. Personally, me speaking, I was long out of the race very early on. I needed like a miracle to get back into it. So that's okay though.
Dude, I just had such a slow start was my downfall. If I hadn't started so slow and been rather inconsistent in my games, I think I win that because the thing about Wyatt is like he had a game plan, but it's like he had one game where he got a bunch of his stuff done at the same time, but then like he had a bunch of games where he only got 1 or 2 things done. Mm-hmm. Whereas like I was inconsistent, but every game that I actually won, I was getting 3 or 4 things done every game.
Yeah, not me. Stay safe, y'all. My board was looking a little blank. Like, it was bad. I think I only got like 2 wins the entire time we played. But it's okay. It's fine. It's fine. But so it was a fun time. Definitely we'll be doing more stuff like that. It's the first time I've done bingo in like a few years, and it was a lot of fun. So,
I mean,
it's the first time.
I'm not gonna say anything, but maybe we need to do it with X Defiant.
Maybe, I don't know. Depends. I'm terrible at bingo. I'd fail. Well, the thing is with the bingo that we did, it was a Here, let me pull up the board real quick for you guys, actually, so y'all can see it. It's
Yeah, show them the board because I don't think some people fully understand like what it meant to play bingo.
Let me
We
pull up
weren't
the.
playing traditional bingo.
We weren't playing traditional bingo. We had to do certain things in the game to be able to get certain like to cover certain parts of the board, and so power bingo, is that a thing? It can be. I mean,
I'm sure we could come
we
up
could
with
come up with
25
something.
different things for Power World.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure.
Oh yeah. So we had the free space, which was in the middle. And there was a little bonus one. None of us got the bonus, but that's okay. The bonus one was kind of like a free space.
The bonus one may or may not have to be a later piece of content.
Maybe, who knows? But so yeah, so there's like different things. Going to visit every point of interest in the map, get a 15 kill win, get 20 kills in a game, win a 1v1. So there's like a game mode where you go solo. You had to win one of those. We knocked the 4v4 30-0 win, yeah, out so quickly, like so quickly.
We literally did that. Like we played one game of BR to warm up, and then we played a TDM, and it was just the quickest 30-0
Oh
of
yeah.
all time.
And we had one random, and at one point we thought the random was gonna die, and we were like, no, please don't ruin this for us. But yeah, so there was just a bunch of different things. You could complete, like, for the wins, like you could get like a hero win, a gun win, and like no ult win or something, all at the same time, all within the same game. So it was sometimes sometimes you were getting one, sometimes you were getting like 4 or 5, like it
Dude,
just
like
really
first
depends.
two games, why I had like 9 and I had like 6, and I was like, dude, he's getting so much done so fast. But then I started catching up because I started having some pretty good games. My main issue, I think I could have won. I think I could have won and probably maybe completed the whole board if I would have got 3 win streak faster. I just never went on a 3 win streak.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like I think this was a I think this is something definitely that we got to bring back for other games or stuff like
Was a
that, because this
great
was fun.
time. I
This
had
was
so
really
much
fun.
fun with it.
And maybe next time there'll be rewards or even punishments. So who knows?
Punishments sound interesting.
Oh yeah. So those punishments will most likely go towards me because you guys kick my ass every time. But so that's Farlight Bingo. We had a great time. Thank you guys to everyone that tuned in. We really appreciate you guys being there. It was really fun and a great way to start off our streaming journey with the Scorpion Syndicate. So yeah, just wanted to get that say that first and foremost, just because it just happened yesterday. But next thing, according to me on the agenda for today, there is a new episode of The Ladder coming out for the Scorpion Syndicate today at 2 p.m. EST. We've got some exciting announcements. We're bringing in some new people today. So go give.
For Mother's Wall Drum toward you appeared. Oh my god. What?
Yeah, I don't know. I need beyond something different today. But so just so you guys know, after the podcast, there'll be that at 2 p.m. So just as like that's the quick little Scorpion Syndicate, a little blurb for today's podcast. If you guys don't like it, well, just tune in a little bit later then, I guess. I don't know. It's a big part of our lives, and big part of like the Climb Together aspect is us sharing that with you. So this is the Climb Together podcast after all. But yeah,
I'm excited for this episode. There's a lot in there.
Yeah.
Compared to the other two. I mean, the X-Defiant team episode was great, but this one is like there's quite a bit more in there in terms of like announcements and content in general.
Yeah, and I put a lot of effort into this one, so I'm trying to make them better and better every single time. So they're just gonna keep improving. So yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna let Deception take the lead for this next segment because Deception's a CDL guy. I just am here to give my opinion. So we have Roster Mania going into week 1 of Stage 3. Stage 3 starts this weekend. So Deception, let's go over what some of the things that have been going on as far as roster changes have been.
Well, the main actual thing that happened, and I would say, even though it's not that big because it was kind of expected, the biggest thing that happened is Surge finally bid farewell to Illy. Yeah. They finally talked about it. It's been like a couple months now where like we've not heard a single thing about Illy.
Yeah.
And although basically all of us knew that he was either benched or going to be dropped, it was just kind of weird that they didn't say anything. And they finally said something.
Yeah, so
the rumor at one point was that he was going to Rocker, but apparently they even trialed him, but I don't know. I don't know what happened, but something didn't work, and apparently Rocker's going in a different direction.
Yeah, so he's kind of just like a FA right now, I believe. Like he's just kind of in the wind as far as teams go. I think he has some personal issues that he's trying to work through probably. We don't actually know what's going on. We're not in the scene, and I think this is something that they've been really trying to keep under wraps. And it's been working. So we really don't know. There's some suspected things that are going on, but we don't actually know what that is per se.
I'm pretty sure the only one that has been confirmed is Real the Heretics.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's I don't know 100% if they announced it or not.
I don't know.
Because I don't keep up with teams that go 0-12 and on land. I mean,
what? I don't either.
I don't either. But I think Heretics did make an announcement about it. I'm pretty sure. But I mean, we all pretty much thought that was going to be the case because they announced that they were picking him up a little bit ago. And it did not surprise me at all that he was going to the starting lineup, considering they benched Journey initially going into Major 2, and then they completely dropped him. And now the rumor is that they benched Eric Boom for Real, which wouldn't surprise me.
So
the only question is that going to help their team?
Who knows? I mean, honestly, they need to do something, and whatever that something is,
probably would be the best or the second best player on their team. But would it actually make their team better? I'm not really sure.
I don't know. They definitely need something to change because something's obviously not working, and yeah, they just need something different, and who knows.
I kind of respect that they're sticking with medals, but if he has a stinker of a qualifier like he had on land, I think he might be gone too. They might bring Journey back for medals.
Yeah, but I don't. Like I said, I don't know. I'm not there. It's all kind of. Unfortunately, it's all hearsay until they announce something, and then it's official. That's pretty much just. I mean, we're not pro players, so we don't have quite as much insight, and we're not really in the scene. We're not really close with these guys, so. But I would like to, see something that's going on here.
The main thing, like I would say the biggest pieces of intel that have been rumored have been what Rocker have been doing, because they ended up dropping Awakening and Vivid, which doesn't really surprise me a lot. The Vivid one's more surprising than Awakening. Awakening has really not been playing well at all. This has clearly not been his game. But they dropped Awakening and Vivid, and the initial rumor was that Illy, I think the initial rumor was that Illy and Slasher were going to Rocker. Pretty sure. I think they were trialing both of them at the same time, and that's probably what made people say that.
Yeah.
Apparently, like I said, something with Illy fell through because Illy is not in talks of any rosters right now. But right now, the current rumor is that Standy and Gunless are going to Rocker, which Standy's well deserved. I mean, honestly, I think both of them are well deserved. Sandy's definitely well deserved after how he got treated by Vegas Legion. Was it a good decision by Legion? Right now, it's looking like it wasn't a half bad decision, but back when it happened, it seemed pretty faded.
Yeah.
Now it's not looking so bad, but it is cool that Sandy gets back on the team. I think Sandy's really good, especially in a game like this. Like this game is very similar to Cold War, and Cold War was his breakout season after he got picked up by Rocker. And then after after what happened, obviously, like Sandy needed to have a bounce back.
Yeah.
And then the big one, I think for a lot of people, because a lot of people have been wanting him to play in the league, was Gunless. He has not played in the league since like I'm trying to think, because the last time I remember him playing in the league was in Cold War for LAG, but he might have played in Vanguard.
Mm-hmm.
But he did not play during all of MW2 and so far all of MW3. And yet he was one of the better players in the league, and I still think he could be one of the better players in the league. Uh, I think the biggest issue with Gunless is I don't know if he has like a temper or if he just clashes with people really easily, but he has routinely blew up teams
Yeah.
in his past. Like the Rise Nation team that Methods won his only 2 events on, um, that had Gunless on it, and then that team basically just blew up because of Gunless.
Yeah.
Gunless and Slasher were kind of like going back and forth. I think Gunless and Methods were having some problems back then. Um, and that was one of the big talking points when he went to Huntsman because it also affected him on the United in BO4. Um, one of the big talking points when he went to Huntsman is the possibility that the team could just really like implode because of him.
Yeah.
And thank goodness Hex didn't let that happen. Hex was like, "Okay, buddy, you're on the bench. We're bringing Pristini in, so this doesn't happen." But I don't know. That's been a big talking point every time Gunless has been on a pretty good team.
Mantis gets dropped like every time. Like he
I think
literally will.
Stanley. I do think Standy and Gunless would make Rocker a good team. It's just how long will they last?
Yeah. You know, I mean, like Standy was dropped from the Legion, and we really don't know why. You know, that's still something that has yet to be like cleared up. I don't think it ever. I don't think
It's
it ever
hard
will
because
be.
like he was rather inconsistent on Legion. Like he had a lot of good games, but he also like there was some like leaked scrim scoreboards where he was getting smoked. But I think I think Attached or somebody said that it could be like out of game stuff is why he got dropped, but I don't know. I mean, back then when Standy got dropped and Geo got picked up, everybody thought it was insane. And like me included, I was like, why is Standy getting dropped? This guy is so good. But I don't know. They kind of turned up on land. It's not looking that bad for him anymore. They from what I've seen in a lot of power rankings, Legion seem to be the clear cut like 5th team in the league. It seems like there's the top 4, there's Vegas, and then there's the bottom 7. But I don't know. It's just like so many roster changes going down. A lot of them we don't know for sure what's going to happen. Like apparently a top challengers player named O4 is going to Seattle. And I'm not completely sure about this, but I heard that he was French. So Seattle would basically have an all French team plus Hook, which I think would be kind of interesting. Um, the it would really be interesting to me because that would be the first time we've had 3 French players on a team.
Yeah. You know, a lot of teams have been pretty like other than Miami, it's been pretty much just like mainly like English speaking teams.
Mainly Miami and Toronto. Because I'm pretty sure that, like, well, before Scrap, they didn't have any American players. And now with Scrap, he's the only one.
Yeah.
Well, Envoy now. But at one point, Rocker was rocking out with, like,
Rocker
they
was
had.
rocking out with. Nice.
At one point, Ultra had, I think, they had a Canadian player. They had. They had a couple British players, and I think Kleenex or yeah, I think Kleenex is from Denmark or something. But they like Toronto was really the only super international team, which is kind of ironic because you had London Royal Ravens and Paris Legion for the longest time. And London kind of went the British route in Vanguard. But Paris never went the full France route. That's what's really ironic about if Seattle ends up with 3 French players. It's like Paris, what happened? Where there was your opportunity and you missed it now
Yeah,
because you're
literally.
Vegas now.
Yep. I mean, if these French players are, or if these French players are, really all all this, they really did. Because I mean, like, they could have stayed, in as Las Vegas Legion and, capitalized on that and gotten these players, but they're like, nah, we're gonna, go.
You know what the crazy thing is though?
What?
You know what one of the craziest what ifs is?
What?
Back in Vanguard, there was a chance that Hydra would have been on Paris.
What?
That would have been insane.
That would have been like a total turn of events type deal.
Yeah, there was like because Hydra played for New York a little bit in Cold War, but I think he ended up getting benched. And like there was a rumor he was going to Paris as his return to the league. And then obviously that didn't happen.
Yeah, he went to New York, but interesting. It's funny how this works. But
also, I just got a text that my rogue has been delivered. I'm excited to go get that after the podcast.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah.
But I don't know. The only thing about like international presence in COD is it's only really been a big thing in the like since CDL started. There's obviously been international presence in COD. It's always been there. There have always been like back in the beginning, like back when the COD League started, like when competitive COD started really kind of blowing up in Black Ops 2 Ghosts, there were a lot of British teams that played. Like you always had like TCM, Epsilon, Vitality. Later you had Australian teams like Mindfreak come in. But like they never really seemed to be able to compete most of the time with NA teams. They could win like a map or two in a series, but it was very rare that a EU team would go really far. Like the big points of EU teams going super far was like 2016 CDL champs or COD champs when Splice finished second. Bance was on that team, which is crazy.
Yeah.
That was so long ago, and Bance is still playing.
Bance is on Team War right now, right?
Yeah, he's playing in Challengers, and he played on Ultra for a while. But yeah, that's crazy that Bance. I just thought about that. Bance was on that team. And then another team Bance was on, Splice in Infinite Warfare, actually won an event, which was crazy. That was the first time that an EU team had ever won an event on NA soil. which was awesome for them. Can it be argued that it was because of snaking, because there was big drama back then about it? Maybe.
Maybe.
But that was like one of the first times snaking was really big. But really, like outside of those performances, nothing really ever happened with EU teams. But since like the CDL started, and since a lot of EU players have kind of been getting recognized as being super good, the EU teams have kind of went away, and they've been kind of now EU players are going to play with NA players and kind of realizing their potential, and they're actually doing really well. Like really, like the big change was like when like I remember Kleenex was making big waves at BO4 champs. He was playing insane for a team that was not projected to go very far. And he ended up getting picked up by Ultra at the start of MW19. He's the only player I'm pretty sure that's been on Ultra the entire time that Ultra's been an org. But
That's
yeah, the EU
time.
presence in COD is been growing a lot.
That's good though. I mean, like, you know, we alrighty, we are back. It was a brief intermission because my PC decided that it no longer wanted to work. Anyway, we were talking about like the EU presence in Call of Duty. That has, you know, very much expanded.
I just think it's awesome that EU is being represented like that.
I know, it's very exciting to see.
It makes it feel more worldwide than just being mostly an NA league.
Yeah. I mean,
even though it's all NA teams now, still.
Yeah. I mean, at least there's not all NA players, which I feel like is good. It adds like more of a, yeah, it's just something more. You know?
The only bad part is that outside of Ultra having 2 international players, no team has more than one. No team in the top 4 has more than one.
Damn. That's sad.
So like you can still see the NA kind of carries.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like, you know, a lot of people aren't really given the chance because you have to move away from home essentially to play in the league, and not a lot of people want to do that.
You know what I want to see?
What?
I just want to see CDL go have international events. Even if we don't have international teams, like I don't care if there's not a team in London anymore. Let's go to London. And like I'm pretty sure that COD has only been to Australia like once. I would love to see that happen again.
All right, let's move on from the rosters because I can't.
Because I can't.
I can't. Dude, that freaking has me checked now. Like, why does my PC have to crash?
I mean, sub's not wrong. You could have just looked. You could have just went to Google and been like, "What's 3 sets at 45 seconds?"
I could have just done that, but I don't know. I'm a college student. I'm supposed to know mental math. Anyway, there's an updated pool for Call of Duty now. Now that the new maps are coming with a new season.
Oh yeah, we've added
yeah, we added quite a few maps. Yes, Vista.
They've added 2 maps across 3 modes.
Yeah, they've added Vista and 6-star.
6-star is completely new. Vista came out mid last season. Yeah, and now 6-star came out. They're like, oh, we'll just add it.
We'll just add that one there. So they are taking it out for Invasion Hardpoint, Skid Row Hardpoint, and Terminal S&D. Vista is a new hardpoint. 6-star is a new hardpoint. 6-star is a new S&D. I've yet to play any of these maps other than Vista, so...
I played Vista like 4 times, and I played 6-star once.
Yeah, so... we haven't really been playing a lot of Call of Duty, but we still be watching it, so...
It's fun to watch regardless if you are fed up with skill-based matchmaking or not.
Yeah. So, because we're not the ones playing. That's what's so aggravating about it, is that you love the game, but you can't play it because the freaking skill-based matchmaking.
The only scary thing about 6-star is I'm pretty sure somebody said one of the hard points is in the water.
Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting for sure.
Maybe they'll like change it for CDL. Maybe they'll like take the hard point out of the water. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, they tested back when they tested Vista. They also tested departures, and they did not add departures, which does not surprise me at all because did not think they would add it. That map is too big.
Which map is too big?
Departures.
Departure, yeah, it is a huge map.
They tested it with Vista, and I was like, nah, they're not gonna add it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm glad to see like a little change up of the maps because it's kind of getting a little stale, you know, because all they do is play one map for like all the modes.
I do like Vista. Yeah. Vista reminds me of a BO4 map.
Yeah, but BO4 is amazing.
BO4 was great competitively.
But yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out this weekend. I mean, we'll be live in the Scorpion Syndicate Discord watching throughout this weekend. So if you want to
matches start Friday. I think.
So if you want to come watch with us, we'll be in there. It's I believe it's like let me pull it up actually. They posted the schedule
you
the
have to see a new roster, first map, first game.
Okay, yeah. So Friday
it's versus Minnesota.
Yep. And then it'll be LAG versus Vegas. And then Saturday we have 3 matches. Sunday we have 3 matches. Optic plays on Sunday at 3 p.m. 6 p.m. EST. Perfect timing. So yeah. It's gonna be interesting to see. I mean, this is a Toronto Ultra Major, so you know, they're probably gonna perform well to try to get. I mean, they always perform well. So if you guys want to watch these matches with us, join the Discord of the Scorpion Syndicate, and we will be there watching. In chat. In chat. Anyway, so moving on.
I'm excited. We also get an Optic versus FaZe rematch.
That's true, we do. That's something that I think is going to be a very star-studded match, and plus it's the last one on Sunday too, so it's gonna be good.
My daughter is not gonna be a whore.
I could be wrong, but I if I'm not mistaken, I think next weekend we get FaZe versus Ultra, so we get to see Draza versus Scrappy.
Hell yeah.
That'll be a big one.
Do we have like an Optic major this? We do not. Interesting. Flop on their part. It's probably where they're gonna have championships though. In Texas. If they were smart, but it's the league, so who really actually knows?
Dude, champs at the eSports arena in Texas would be the best.
Oh yeah. I would love to go, but alas, too broke. Unless a Call of Duty team wants to play for Scorpion Syndicate, that's going, and I can get some sort of investors to fund my trip down there. Lovely days. Anyway,
I mean, at this point, I think we might be able to handle taking LAG or Vegas.
Probably. I mean, you guys like the 3. It could be a 3v4, and I think you guys still could handle it.
We have more management than those 2 teams. I think.
It's rough. Those teams are seeing some dark days. They saw
like I've said before. At one point in Vanguard, when Vegas dropped 3 of their players, Vegas had like 3 staff. Like literally, they had 1 player. They had Theory, who was the coach, and they had an owner, and I think that was it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's crazy. All right, moving on. Some awesome things coming from Optic this week. So first, what we all know and love came back. Freaking Vision. There was a Vision episode this past weekend, and let me tell you, gorgeous. Hitch, I need you back, man. We need it back. I know it was just a one-time thing for like a goal or whatever, but it was good.
Dude, what is it at now? I'm gonna look.
It's gotta be up there.
Let's see. Okay, so this vision came out almost a week ago, 5 days ago.
I'm pulling
This is why
and it
I
is at
stopped shopping.
189,000 views. The last episode of the process came out 4 months ago, and it hasn't even cracked 100K.
189,000 for that vision, and usually their videos don't even go over 100K, except for when it's the 1v1s. The 1v1s went over, but
yeah, the 1v1s are big though.
Yeah,
because they're playing for money. They're playing against fans. Like
then this one with Scump. But I mean, a lot of the times if Scump's in the thumbnail, I think it's over.
Oh yeah, it's Autism Awareness Month.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, Scump in the thumbnail is an easy dub for views.
So let's find the latest episode of the process. So this was 5 months ago. 99,000 hasn't even cracked it. And it's been 5 months. This has been like what? How many days did you say? 5 days. So
yeah, it's
I
been
mean,
5 months now since the process, and they haven't cracked 100K. But it's been 5 days, and Vision's got almost 200K.
I mean, like, I think obviously part of it is the fact that, like Vision, it's like what people love, and it was really hyped up, but I think another aspect of it too is it was good, and it was 51 minutes long, and like this process episode was 26. So like,
I don't know, like the thing about the process is, admittedly, compared to that Vision episode, which granted Hitch might have been going for something different, but admittedly compared to the Vision episode, the process is better production.
Yeah, but
and
that's
it's a little bit better quality. But the thing about Hitch is, like, everybody loves how Hitch edits things and how Hitch does videos. And Hitch did Vision how Hitch does videos, and that's why everybody likes it so much. And honestly, like, I would take this slight dip in quality to have a great video. And I thought that episode of Vision was awesome.
Gotta go. All right, I love you. Yeah. No.
On my way to class.
But like 51 minutes, it was one of the. It didn't even feel like 51 minutes though. It was good.
That's one of the longest Vision episodes.
It is one of the longest ones. But it was so good. Like, he did it so well for not doing it. And the thing is, he hasn't done it in so long. All right.
And there hasn't been a Vision episode in 5 years.
Yeah. It was good. It made me feel good.
Also said that.
That's insane. The last Vision episode was about BO4 champs 5 years ago.
4 years ago?
5 years ago.
5 years ago? Yeah.
The last episode was about BO4 champs. It was
15 years old.
It was that's the insane part, is the last time we had Vision, it was under the Infinite optic.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And like right after that Vision episode, everybody left.
It was like the last Vision episode of everybody, and it was like,
dude, that was a crazy time too, because I remember that Vision episode came out, and then like the next like month there was like a couple posts a week of a couple uploads a week of people leaving optic, and I was like, what the fuck? I was like, dude, I cannot believe that. Like, the Big Timer one and the Scump one was bad.
mm-hmm.
Those were the two big ones. I remember, I think Bose made a video, which Bose hadn't made a video in years at that point. He was kind of off of content. And then, like, I remember the Big Timer video leaving, Scump left. Hex did not make a video, which is kind of interesting. He didn't make his video until he was talking about NRG already, which was way after that. But I remember, like, there had to be like 7 or 8 different videos of people leaving, and it all happened so fast, and I was just like, oh no.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm just glad they're back.
Yeah, the day that Hex got optic back was the best day ever.
Did you forget Umbrella?
It's waning.
It's waning.
The crazy part about
I love
the
you.
Optic X getting Optic back was they leaked it, and then like they leaked it, and it happened a day later, but it still was like people couldn't believe it.
It's crazy.
I think it was insane because it's like they leaked it, like it got leaked, and then it was like, and everybody couldn't believe it. I think that's why. I think everybody was like, "Nah, it's not happening."
Everyone thought like, "Oh, this isn't actually real." Like, there's no like this is just a April Fool's joke, you know. Even though it was not April Fool's, but it felt like one because it was like impossible, you know. Well, I mean, they did say that they were experimenting.
Yeah,
with the way that they do content, so.
Yeah, at the Miami Major, they brought Roger on the watch party, and they asked him what was going on with the process, and his answer was basically, we're kind of restructuring things, like we're looking at like what content we did that was good, and what content that we did that was not so great, and he was like, we're kind of like doing a mix of going back to old things that worked and also trying new things. So would it surprise me if they brought Vision back? Not really.
But will they?
I don't think they will, because unless Hitch has like I don't think Hitch would do nearly as much as he did for the episode of Vision that just came out. But I feel like if Hitch had like some sort of like, if he was like looking over it, and he sort of was like a director, even if he didn't edit the video, film the video, all that, I feel like they probably would do it. They might even do it without Hitch. Who knows? Because they did the last like season or two of Vision was Roger. So I don't know.
I just want the Vision vibe. That's all I want. I just want the vibe. It doesn't have to be Hitch because I know he like was really stressed out while doing it. You know,
Hitch
like
did literally everything until I think like season 4. Like I don't think he even started having Roger's help until like season 4.
Yeah,
like he was doing everything.
So I feel like, I mean, like, and he was like stressed out too. Like he was like doing like drugs to like stay awake. He's like talked about that publicly. That's why I'm saying it. But like he's been doing, like, he did drugs to stay awake. Like he was super stressed out. Like it's just, he just like never slept, and so he wasn't really living like a very healthy lifestyle doing that, you know. So I don't want like, I want Vision, you know what I mean, but I don't want him to like put himself at risk for us to get it, you know what I mean. He seems like he's at a good spot in his life right now.
I don't know, who knows, maybe like, I mean, he hasn't really been talking about it, I don't think, at least from what I've seen. But, and there haven't been any clips surface, so he's not leaked anything. But I don't know, maybe there's a chance that when he put out that episode of Vision and when he was working on it, maybe he was like, you know what, this is kind of fun. Like, I could get back into this. Who knows?
Who knows? Something we're just gonna have to wait and see.
Because that is something that Hitch hasn't done in so long, and he used to do it all the time. Like he loved it. Like that was like his favorite thing to do, is make Vision episodes, even though it stressed him out toward the end.
Yeah. All right. I do want to pull up one clip, and I kind of switch gears, kind of stay in the, you know, this, you know, the big organizations. So there's a clip that came out of Banks the other day, so I'm just gonna play it. Deception, I'm gonna send it to you real quick, actually.
Oh yeah, I watched this video. I watched it. I saw it.
Yeah. So
this is crazy. I think I sent it to you.
Video game creators. Well, we're definitely cutting the roster down significantly.
Either you sent it to me or I sent it to you, but I saw it. I was like, oh my God.
Not recreating, because you never recreate what happened, but if it's about getting back to the core value of it, then wouldn't it be about keeping video game creators?
Well, for sure. I mean, and the people, we're cutting all kinds of people.
Yeah,
I mean, we're cutting the roster down significantly. We had something like 140 employees this time last year. I think we have 30 right now. I want to cut that down even further to like 10. I firmly believe that as long as the brand is taken care of, as long as the people who are a part of the brand, you know, that roster of 10 people are all on the same page, have the same focus, have the same vision, and are incentivized the right way. Like the corny, like us paying members to put FaZe in their name and having that be the relationship, like that doesn't work. It's whack. I want no part of that. It doesn't do anything for either side. It's this weird transactional shit. We're not Red Bull, bro. We're not like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? We're
This
not trying to slap our
Rain
logo
would
on top.
talk a lot about this.
It's very true. And Rain's genius, like brand mind, internet content mind, and I respect the out of like his perspective on this. And Rain and I see eye to eye almost every step of the way when it comes to this conversation specifically.
Yeah, so pretty much what he's saying, just for like a recap, is like they cut down from 100 and they had this time last year they had 130 employees. They had 140.
Insane.
They cut down to 30. So it's 110 people that they fired, right?
So far.
And
he wants to cut that down further.
He wants to get it down to 10, which I mean honestly, like I get where he's coming from. Like I like how small Scorpion Syndicate is, and like I've learned, so I actually learned about this week coincidentally. So like literally yesterday, like in class, like we learned about like different like types of like business control and everything, and different ways that you can do it. Like there's centralized and then there's decentralized. And so decentralized is pretty much where you have like the CEO and then you have a bunch of different VPs that take care of different stuff, like eSports. Like in this case, it would be like director of eSports, director of content, director of financial stuff, director of like merchandising, and then like sponsors. And then they have people underneath them, and then they make those VPs make all the decisions, and then they just report back to the CEO when the CEO needs to make bigger decisions, and like the shareholders and stuff like that. Right? That's kind of like how it works in a decentralized way. And most companies do operate in a decentralized, like most big companies do operate like that because it's easier and it's like things move faster that way. You don't have to run everything by one singular person. But with a lot of smaller companies, like smaller esports organizations, like the Scorpion Syndicate, for an example, like we are a centralized company. I am like we kind of like, it's like I am like the main person, and then there's a bunch of other people that are underneath, but like at the end of the day, like you know, I hold most of the power, which I know that kind of sounds like conceited, but like even in like mom and pop restaurants, like your local like diner or whatever, they have the owner that makes all the decisions, and then that's it. Like they have like a couple managers or whatever to run things when they're not there, but like for the most part, like centralized businesses work for a smaller end because everyone's on the same page, and things get lost in the sauce. So I think that's what he's trying to go for. He's trying to go for a more like centralized way of operations, because like you said, like he doesn't want things to be transactional. He wants, you know, it to be a two-way relationship between the content creators and the organization, and not just slapping a name onto someone's, you know, Twitter or something. Not just slapping face.
Dude, I love that though.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, like he's gonna.
I
get
love
a lot of
that he's not just wanting to sign people to FaZe because they have a big name or they're popular or like it would get FaZe notoriety or whatever. Like he knows that FaZe already has all that stuff, and he doesn't. They don't need much more of it.
No, they already have. They already have all this different stuff, and so now they have like brand recognition, and I think that's what like. I think that's what the previous like business people were going for, were brand recognition, and they were doing it in that way. But like I said, like these people aren't gamers. Like they're not gamers gaming, and they don't understand like the gaming world as much as like we do, right? Or Banks does. So him taking back over, it'll allow them to get back to their like roots of this kind of stuff. And like you said, they're keeping creators. They want to make sure it's the right creators. They want to make sure I think some people might get re-signed, some people might not. You know, it just depends on what the contractual agreement is, because you have to like
You're gonna see a lot of people leaving FaZe though.
Yeah. So a lot of people have, so the way that contracts work, for anyone that doesn't know, in this kind of space is people sign like yearly contracts or couple year contracts or whatever, and there's certain obligations that they have to adhere to, right? Whether that be showing up for things, doing things, not needing to do things, having certain things. And so I'm guessing a lot of these contracts were lacking what Banks wants them to have in them. And the only way to like renegotiate them is for the terms, like the contract to expire and to be reevaluated, or for it to be terminated. So I'm guessing that's what he's doing. He's terminating the contract with everyone. And so I think that's what he's doing. He's terminating the contract so that he can either renegotiate with these people, or if they don't want to be on the same page as him, then he's just getting rid of them because he doesn't want to deal with that. He wants to bring in people that are on the same page and want what he wants. And I get that. I mean, like, I can't shit on him for it. Like he this is a smart move by him, is to get everybody on the same page. I mean, he talks later in this interview about like him and FaZe Rain, that they're on the same page as far as like content goes. So he's probably like keeping him and a lot of like the core guys. But they definitely probably want people to be more involved in like creating content for the organization, collaborating with each other, like that kind of stuff. So I mean, I think that's what he's probably going for when in like, getting rid of all this, because he's probably going to get rid of like like the nukes. I think he's getting rid of the nuke squad, mainly because, one, they don't do shit without, like, they just like play with each other. They don't really go outside the nuke squad anyway and collaborate with other members. So I mean, sometimes people play with other people that are in FaZe, but it's not like they're actually doing anything for the FaZe channel itself, other than like a house tour every once in a while, when they move. So I mean, it's gonna be a lot different coming from FaZe in the next. There's gonna be a lot of changes. I hope they get back to their roots and we don't have another like Grace decision.
Dude, that's the thing, is like, I love that he mentioned Rain and how genius Rain is, because I feel like a lot of people think Rain is just insane. And like, it's quite the opposite of that in a business perspective. Like, that whole Grace thing, like, you can kind of tell now that like people that were doubting Rain because of what he said and what happened, you can tell that like they're all just like, oh, so he was onto something. Because like, you can clearly tell, like, a lot of people were thinking that he was like acting that way because she was a woman or whatever, but it's like he had like there was like a bigger problem he was exposing, and now it's like coming full circle.
Yeah. So like, I mean, like, they have like Kaylee, who I think they should keep her, personally speaking. Like, I feel like she's a great fit.
I hope they do.
I feel like she's a great fit for FaZe. I think it might be one of those situations where they have to fire her to rehire her. I think they're gonna fire everybody and consider bringing people back as time goes on, because they have a lot of great people under FaZe that could do a lot of good things, like Rug, Kaylee, a bunch of others that I can't think right now.
Or they could always fire people and be like, hey, don't post anything about that you've left FaZe. Like, we're probably gonna rehire you.
Yeah. We might bring you back. It's one of those things you just gotta like, they're just gonna, have to discuss and figure out. I mean, it's gonna be a lot of contract negotiations and a lot of just kind of like reworking. They're gonna have to do a lot of like back end restructuring, which takes a long time. That stuff takes a long time. For context, Scorpion Syndicate, brand new organization, right? Not as big as FaZe by any means, right? It took me from November to February to get the company, like, to get Scorpion Syndicate launched, right? In a state to be launched, right? And then and I'm still not done getting everything on the back end completed and like structured. So like, there's so much that goes into this thing that like a lot of people don't understand. If you're doing this like the way that properly, I guess you could say, and not just kind of like throwing shit together. as you go on. So it's a process. It's gonna take months, and I'm sure it's probably gonna take them twice as long as it took me. For like a multitude of reasons, because like one, I have the help of like like my professors at college, you know what I mean? Like I have like consulted them, and they're like they're professional, they know this shit like the back of their hand, they literally teach it. So I have their help, and so like it's gonna be, they're gonna have to like, you know, get advice from other people, and
Well,
either...
and it's just like I think a lot of them like firing everybody is not like that they actually want to fire everybody they're firing. I think a lot of it's like, let's just fire everybody so we don't leave anybody in the org that doesn't need to be in the org.
Yeah.
And then just blindside them by firing them because we forgot about them. Like,
yeah.
it's probably like, let's fire everybody so we clear the slate completely, and then brings people back.
Yeah, and I think part of that, like bringing, you'll be like, well, why did they just keep them if they want, they don't want, like if they want to keep them or whatever. But I think part of it is the contractual agreement, because I mean,
and it's just like an evaluation period for them, probably.
Yeah.
It's probably them just being like, well, we fired everybody, now let's look at who we want to bring back.
Yeah, be like, okay, so this person was good, and they're probably gonna go about one by one. They're probably not gonna be like, all right, we're gonna bring all these people back. They're gonna go one by one and be like, all right, we're gonna bring Rug back, and then they're gonna see how that goes, and then like they're gonna be very, I feel like they're gonna be very cautious going forward, which I think is a really good thing. I think they should be cautious to kind of rebuild FaZe into
and they definitely will. Like now that like all of the rightful leaders are in charge, they definitely will be a lot more careful. Yeah. And I think we'll see a better and much higher quality FaZe clan than we have the last like 3-4 years.
5 years even. I think this is important to note as well. Since they're firing a bunch of people, right? That's 110 people, right? That's 110 salaries that they don't no longer have to pay, right? And if they fire someone like Nick Merckx, right? Like Nick Merckx has a big ass salary, right? For being part of FaZe, right? So, you know, they fire all these people. Here's all this money that's freed up to do things. All this money that they can work with now. They can either pay off their debts that they've got going on here, or what, like, you know, there's just so much more to work with now than before. So I think that's something that'll also be something to look at as well, as what they do with that money that's kind of freed up. Whether they use it or they you know, get out of some of the debts that they put themselves in over the years. Not them particularly, but just like FaZe in general. But anyway, so we'll keep you guys posted on that as more comes to light. I feel like this is gonna be something that's gonna be very much publicized, just because it's FaZe Clan, and they're very.
I mean, with the way that the rightful leaders run it, they want it to be publicized.
Yeah, they want to make sure that like
they want people to know.
They want people to know what's going on. But yeah, so I was gonna talk about the solar eclipse, but I really don't want to anymore. Solar eclipse was Monday. It was pretty cool. I didn't get to see it. I'm kind of salty about it because I was really excited to see it. Because there was a fucking Mother Nature decided that a full blanket of clouds over my campus was the best decision for that day. So I didn't actually get to see the eclipse, but I got to see like the sky change or whatever, which was pretty cool. But whatever. Okay, so there's one last thing that I do want to talk about. This is kind of important, I feel like, kind of for the Call of Duty scene. I know we're kind of going back to Call of Duty after taking a little hiatus for, you know, like 30 minutes. But
yeah,
this pull up on your screen, right? Pull up on my screen right now is the top 50 Modern Warfare 3 Twitch streamers for March, this past March. And I'm just gonna go through, and Deception and I are gonna say whether or not these guys are pros or former pros. Ready? Nadeshot, former. Scump, former.
I can tell you right now, I already looked through the list. There's 14 out of the top 15. All the top 10 are pros or former pros.
Yep.
14 out of the top 15 and 17 out of the top 20.
Well, Oh well, there's and then Heist is the only one I think that isn't.
Heist is the only one not
but
in the
he's
top
like
15, and
really
then
he's on like top 250 ranked
Raxi
though.
and Raxi and Marksman are the only ones
Yeah.
not in the top 20
Yeah.
that are pros. Heist, Raxi, and Marksman. Those are
Yeah.
the only 3.
So I feel like this is of just speaking to like, and if you keep looking down, like there's just more and more pros. Like there's only like this one he plays like Heist plays ranked, right? Scope, he's a content creator. Cindy is a content creator, I believe. The Morty is
that's
one
crazy
too.
that Scope's on this list.
Yeah, like it just seeing how
and he's getting more views than Arcities,
yeah,
Temp, Standy.
just but like it's just it's not shocking is what I'm trying to say here is like the fact that all these only people that are getting views are pro players, like okay, or former pro players turned content creators, and I have a couple things to say about this. One, Hex was right. I mean, if you look at this, like he said that like, you know, this is like a great retirement thing for professional players. And, you know, it's proving true. I mean, there's like the top
This is
3.
exactly what pros should be doing when they retire.
Like the top 3 are 3 former Call of Duty players. Like they're they're retired.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing considering like pros versus retired pros. Look, I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 out of the top 10 are retired.
And if you look, you have in the top 20, you have every player on the Optic Gaming roster.
Yep.
Plus 2 more. Like, so just want to point that out.
Yeah, you have every current pro, and the 2 top content creators on Optic.
Yeah, so like I just want to point that out, right? So, but like that's the thing though, is like there's this kind of like lacking thing in Call of Duty right now as far as content creation goes, because like one, the competitive side of Call of Duty is the only thing keeping it alive right now, and it's barely hanging on. Like it's hanging on by a thread. So like and it's kind of just showing because all these players play ranked. Like all these players, they're streaming ranked. They're not minus like Scope and I don't know what Cinderella does, but or the Morty but I know like the top like 15, they're playing ranked. Like that's what they stream.
I don't know if Marksman plays a ranked. He might.
I was thinking
Marksman is mainly an S&D guy.
Yeah, but I was talking to top 15. Like all the top 15.
I mean, top 15, everybody's playing ranked.
So like that's what's keeping the game alive right now is that scene, and like the casuals, like the drop off, from the first one to the 50th, like it's very
dude,
sporadic.
The crazy part is something that has not changed for over a decade, for like 11, 12 years. Nadeshot and Scump are the top 2.
Yeah. I mean, that's who I saw. Like that's how I saw this post was Nadeshot reposted it, but yeah, I just wanted to.
Well, it's been like that for years.
Yeah.
Like literally, like back when like COD pros would normally get like 500,000 viewers, maybe. Like Nadeshot and Scump are getting like 30K on Twitch.
So I just want to point that out because like in a lot of other games, it's not quite like that. There's a lot of content creators that don't play professionally that are on the top, but this is very like one-sided, and it's just something I wanted to point out.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised by if COD 2024 if Heist tries to go for challengers or something. Because that guy's really good. That guy's really good. I don't know if he wants to go for challengers or not, or if he sees the content and he's like, maybe I should just do this. But Heist is really good.
But I just wanted to
I know
point
like
that
Zuma
out.
And them have been playing with him.
Oh yeah. But I just wanted to point that out and let you guys know that that this is something that's happening, something to think about if you're, a Call of Duty fan and just kind of like watching Call of Duty, like the very skewed data that we got going on right now. Just something to keep an eye on in the coming months. And kind of like seeing the shift in Call of Duty content. Just overall. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of all we have to talk about here today on the podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. I apologize for my PC shit in the bed halfway through. Don't worry, I'll fix that when I go back and put the two of them together and edit it and such before it gets uploaded. Just a friendly reminder before we get out of here. Today, in 45 minutes from now, we have a new ladder episode premiering. Okay,
link it.
I'm getting it. I'm getting it. It's gonna be linked in both chats. Hit that. Drop that. Like, click on that. Little link.
Premiering in 45 minutes.
Yeah.
As of the recording of this podcast.
Yep. Did I set it as premiere? Yes, I did. I fixed it. It wasn't set as a premiere, but it is now. So, go give it a watch. Like it. I'm really excited for you guys to see what, I've been working on for the past, couple weeks. Yeah, I gotta go work on some stuff. But thank you guys so much for tuning into the podcast. Make sure to like, subscribe, or stream this live every Wednesday, 12 p.m. EST over on Twitch. Twitch.tv/Tonage_Scorp. And then twitch.tv/Deception276. Thank you guys so much for watching. Deception, say bye.
Bye.
See you guys next time. Peace.